Welcome to this month's live training on the top bots of March 2026. Every single month, we do this training where we talk about what went well, what didn't, and particularly, I give you access to the top bots from this past month. Now, this past month was wild. We had a lot to do with Iran, a lot of market moving down, moving lower, crashes, volatility spikes. But yet, these three top bots I'm going to show you combined together generated $28,400 in this last month. Those are just the top three combined. If we combine all the winners of the options auto trading this month, it'd be a lot larger. So the question is, how did they do it? So let's dive in. And remember, I know I mentioned this before, but if you stay until the end, you will actually get all three bots. We'll be able to download them so that you can use them. So that's gonna be the bot that generated 13,000. There's another bot that generated about 9,000. Another bot that generated 6,000. You can get access to all those bots for free at the end of the training. So stay tuned. Now, before we dive into all the fun stuff, I need to cover a disclaimer, which you guys know that this training is for educational purposes only. You are responsible for what happens to your account. Most traders lose money, and trading is risky, so never risk more than you can afford to lose. And I will be showing you things like trades and backtesting results, but that does not mean you'll be able to do the same. With that said, if you're new, I know we always have a lot of new people for this training. Welcome in. You're going to learn a lot. But who am I? My name is Austin Booley. I've been trading since 2017. I've earned over 20,000 traders over the last 5 years. And my bots made me $22,000 last year, which is a single bot made me that much last year. I love showing this from Tasty Trade. Why? Because Tasty Trade Brokers does not have paper trading. So this is a live funded account right here. That last year, a single bot on ES made me $22,000, which is awesome. But it didn't always start that way. When I first started selling options, first of all, it took me a while to get to option selling. I tried everything under the sun, from crypto to Forex to day trading to swing trading. And once I discovered option selling, that's where my consistency came in. I started making anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 a month. But the problem was with volatility spikes, with market crashes, with leveraging so much, because options are just naturally leveraged. I had way too much money at risk that I wasn't aware of it. And just one overnight move led to a $15,000 loss, which set me back a lot. Because of that, I felt very hopeless. I felt depressed. I was like, what am I trading for? I'm spending all my time, all my stress, all my energy going into this. And I just lost more money than I could probably make, right, in 6, 7 months, 12 months, right, as a young kid, which is crazy. And so that's when I had my light bulb moment. Yes, option selling is amazing, but there needs to be a way to make it even better, make it safer. And so that's when I read this article that came out in 2020 that said in the US stock market, about 70% of the comprehensive trading volume is done through algo trading. What does this mean? This means that 7 out of 10 trades placed in and through the market are done by bots and not by real people. When I read this, I was like, that's it. That's where we're going to. In the end, that was in 2020. Now we're about 6 years past that. And I bet that number is closer to 95% of all trades in the market are being done by bots, not humans. So that's when I decided to actually sit down, plan out, systematize, and build a tool that took option selling and kept the best parts of it, the consistency, the high win rate, the reliable income, and then took away all the other hard parts like stop losses that you can't rely on due to market makers messing with your orders. Things like volatility spikes, not being able to get out soon enough to reduce your risk, and so many other factors that allow and enable traders to over leverage themselves was all removed when I built this tool called the Options Auto Trader. Using this tool and the same strategy that I was using before, making 2 to 3,000 a month, I just plugged into the tool and I started making about 4 to 5,000. So I started making more with the same strategy by using bots because I removed my emotion and I got in at the perfect time every single time. But not only that, also decreased my losses. Like, guys, we and you and me, we can't watch our trades 24/7 all the time, every second of every day. It's not possible. But with a bot, it is. This bot is checking all my trades every second of every day. And the second that my stop loss gets hit or my take profit gets hit or some other criteria to enter or exit happen, then it gets me out, which allows me to decrease my losses. No more staying in trades and hoping that it's going to turn around. I have a larger loss or no more missing a trade and getting out too late, leading to a larger loss. Instead, you have a bot doing it. But most importantly, it gave me my time back. It allowed me to know that when I wasn't looking at the market, that my trades were safe, they were protected, and I could actually spend quality time with my wife and be there with her, knowing my trades were all good. So after I did it and had success with it, I then opened it up to a few beta testers and allowed them to use it. Ryan, who was looking for an automated approach, made $3,500 in his first 30 days using a larger account, which was awesome. Roman had never traded options before, with a smaller account, made $100 in his first 30 days. David, who was tired of selling options by hand and wanted to do something automated, made $1,000 in his first 30 days. And Dean made $700 in his first 30 days. Again, so many people have been able to crush it with this system. But again, what about the results today? People are still making money today with this system. And if you stay until the end, I'll actually be giving you the 3 top bots that people use to make money with this month or this past month. Now, before we dive in to the top leaderboard, we do need to discuss what an ideal options bot portfolio looks like so you know where everything fits in. When we're looking at a ideal portfolio, the market can do a lot of things. The market can in general go up, the market can go down, or the market can be flat and go nowhere. We need to make sure that we are prepared for every single one of these market environments. And so the 2 ones that I like to plan for the most are bullish markets and bearish markets. So there's 2 markets, which means you have 2 different bots or 2 primary strategies to take advantage of each. So that's why during bullish market, we run things like put credit spread, short put, 1-1, lead calls, things like that. And on bearish, we run call credit spreads, put debit spread, short call, long put, etc. Now, can you guess, knowing that March was a red month, what bots did better? You're right, bearish bots. So the bots that topped the leaderboard were mainly bearish bots. So we look at the market, we can see here that we just trended down, mainly due to Iran news, other market factors, things like that, that pushed it down over the last 3 days. We got a nice spike up in recovery so far. We'll see how far that takes us. But right now we are on a downtrend and moving lower. So with that said, what was the top options bot of March 2026? And it even surprised me myself, but it was a short put. So if we look at the leaderboard, the top bot was a strategy running a short put. Now, why did this work? They used strategic entry by entering during low period. What does this mean? If we don't know what a short put strategy is, it's a bullish strategy, meaning that you want the market to move higher. You want the stock to move up. And what we saw here is that this trader actually found a way to enter at the lows, at the dips of the market using certain indicators in order to give him an advantage when the market bounced. He was able to take advantage of it. So he had a total of 3 trades over this period here and generated, looks like an average P&L is $4,135. So times 3, that comes about out to 13,000, which is how much this person made. Now, this is not my preferred strategy during bearish markets. It can work, obviously, if you nail down the entry perfectly, if you bought the dip. That's also like catching a falling knife, right? It's not something you necessarily want to do, not the safest and best to avoid it if you can. So this is not my recommended approach in my personal opinion, which doesn't mean anything. You can do whatever you want, but this was still the top bot to look out for. Now, this is a bot that I recommend that everyone deploy, which is the top options bot number 2, which you can see here, total of 4 trades. Average win per trade is about $3,000. And we can see here that it generated about 12 grand, something like that. So with that said, that was a debit spread. Why do I love debit spreads during market crashes? For 2 reasons. Debit spreads, particularly a put debit spread, makes money as the market goes down. So it makes money from direction. But not only that, but it makes money when VIX increases because it's a long trade. It's a debit trade, which means that as VIX volatility increases, auction prices increase. And if you're on a debit trade and the price increases, you are making money. So not only are we profiting from the direction of the trade, but we're also profiting from volatility increasing, which is a double whammy and does very well. Now, what do you want? What do you need to know? This specifically was a bearish spot on SPX 30 DTE put debit spread. It was triggered when the market was in a downtrending market. So again, you can define what that is for yourself. You import this spot, you'll be able to see how they defined it. But it could be something as simple as, hey, once the market is below a 50 period moving average, that's when I want to deploy this bearish spot, for instance. So you need to have some way to identify that, which is what they did, and it paid off really well. And as a reminder, this can be done in any account size. You just change the width of the spread to make sure you can easily afford it, which means you can make this work for as cheap as $500 all the way up to what the average risk per trade on here was about 5,000. So they were trading with about $5,000 of risk per trade. So obviously anywhere from 500 to 10,000, you can make this work by just adjusting the spread width and contract size. Option number 3 was a call credit spread. Why do I like this? Because again, a call credit spread profits from the market dropping. As the market goes down, a call credit spread will profit on direction. Now, it's not going to profit as much because the debit spread will always profit more, and it doesn't have the advantage of increasing with VIX. VIX is increasing, so VIX is working against this trade. But still, when you add a VIX filter, it can perform very well. So we can see here that VIX being above 18, when VIX is above 18, that's when this was triggered. A call credit spread. And you can see here it did about 14 trades, 85% win rate. The average win per trade was about $370, which turned into a multi-$1,000 profit just by letting the spot run in the background. This is an example of one of those bots that just sit there and does nothing for most of the year. And then for 1 month out of the year, you have a downtrend or you have VIX spiking, and then this actually does well and helps offset a lot of losses. Remember, when it comes to bearish bots, the goal isn't necessarily to make money, although I'm not opposed to that, but the goal is to offset the risk, offset the losses that your bullish bot trades are going to hit. So when you calculate, okay, cool, this is what this bearish bot does. For instance, this one being the call credit spread, you can see here that their average win was about 370 versus the debit spread where the average win was like 3,000. You then know, okay, cool. If I have, let's say 5 bullish trades open, and these 5 bullish trades, they all have their stop loss will total to a $5,000 loss. How can I best offset that loss with the cheapest cost? You'd be like, okay, I'll put debit spread in this instance. If I copied that bot, will give me about $3,000 of downside protection. So I would turn my $5,000 loss of all my bullish trades losing into a $2,000 loss that I'm $3,000 offsetting it. And that's how you win long term. It's not by making money necessarily in every market, although we can go for, but it's by offsetting the losses during the market crash periods so that you can recover and come back faster. Anyways, that was the monetary return top bots, but I do want to mention percentage return since that is just as important. We have Robert with a bearish bot as well, the same type of bot. We saw the top winner money wise, but a 254, basically 255% return on the capital they use. So the money that this bot used, it generated almost 300%, which is crazy. 3-4 calendar generated about a 240% return with a 100% win rate. That's also a very good downtrending market strategy. We have another ETF bearish spot, 154% return, bearish spot, 150% return. Don, we had 130% total. He did make it on the top 3 spot of the leaderboard, but 130% when it comes to the percentage. Bearish spot 90%, buy Willie Rainmaker 51%. So you can guys to just see here, when we deal with these bearish spots, mainly being on the debit side of trade, you can have really great returns as long as we align it with the market. And yes, this works for any account size. So just adjust, what asset you're trading, the spread width, and the contract amount. So can you imagine waking up in the morning and seeing that you had a bot that made money, whether the market went up or down? You're like, wow, this is actually working. That's what I want to allow you to do by giving you access to these bots. So if you're ready to get access to these bots, here's how it works. Oh man, this is so outdated. Special limited time offer. March's top bot. Sorry about that. So March's top bots includes a bot that made 13,000, another bot that made 8,000, another bot that made 6,000. I'm going to give you all these bots for free. But if I were to charge you $5,000, which I could easily do, and if all these bots that was helping make a consistent $1,000 every month hand fee, would it be worth $5,000? Absolutely. From a monetary perspective, it would. If all this was helping have true time freedoms that you're no longer stuck to the screen, you actually got your time back, would it be worth $5,000? Absolutely. And if it gave you peace of mind knowing your trades were protected from crashes and volatility spikes, Would it be worth 5 grand? Absolutely. You know that I lost 15,000 on a single trade. If I would have this spot, I would not be near that. So definitely worth 5 grand. But I'm gonna do something crazy for everyone on here. I'm gonna give you the most insane deal ever because I'm trying to grow the software, become the #1 option spot tool on the internet, and because I truly want you guys to have success with this. I'm gonna allow you to get him for an extremely low price of just free. That's right. You can get these bots for free by going to oatdiscount.com/3bots. I'm gonna put that in the chat box right now. Everyone here can get it for free. Now, although you can download these bots, you will need a subscription or an account to the Options Auto Trader to make sure that these bots can run. So you will need to have an Options Auto Trader account to access these bots. I just put that link inside of Zoom. So you click on that link and go to it, or you can open up a browser tab and go there yourself. Okay, cool. With that said, when you go to this link and you click on download bot, you're then going to see this. It's going to say Austin Booley shared X name bot with you. You'll be able to click clone that bot. And then from there, you'll be taken over to your template library, and that bot will get put inside of your templates. Inside the template section is where you can import it, download it, use it, rename it, whatever it is you want that you can actually go. And what I recommend is go run it on your paper account to see how it runs. So you click on download bot, then you'll click on clone bot, and then it will get put into your template section inside of the Options Auto Traders. Now, if you're not an Options Auto Trader member yet, what are you doing? Just kidding. But I do open up a 14-day free trial during the special training so that you guys can get access to it. So if you want to get access, you'll be able to click on download bot, and it will say start your 14-day free trial if you're not logged in. Click on that and it'll allow you to start a 14-day free trial, and it will immediately download the bot into your account after you started the trial. So if you want to get access to one of these bots to start making money in a bearish market like we are in right now, then you can do that. Whether you're a member yet or not, you can start a free trial and get this party started by going to oatdiscount.com/3bots. Now, I do know there might be some questions. I did see some hand raises and there's a good amount of people here. So let's look at what's going on. Email leak that went out 30 minutes ago doesn't work. Okay, I'll make sure to get that fixed next time. Don, hey, Don's in here. Don went from being one of the original beta tester years ago, 2.5 years ago by now, and now made it to the top of the leaderboard for 2 years later. Way to go, Don. Thank you so much for being a member here and helping others. You're a great help in Discord when you're there. Mark Emmer says, hey, Austin, can we do calendar spreads yet? Yeah, of course you can do calendar spreads. If you guys saw, if I go back on these slides right here, when I mentioned the percentage returns right here, 3-4 calendar, this is a calendar spread. I think, I forget which order it is, but they're either buying a 3 DTE and selling a 4 DTE contract or something like that. But yeah, the 3-4 calendar, yes, you can do calendar spreads. Whatever you can do in your broker, you can automate through the Options Auto Trader, whether that be a credit trade, a debit trade, a calendar trade, a hedge trade, a bullish, bearish, whatever. I can all be done through here. Anyways, with that said, it looks like you guys got everything you need. Make sure you go to that link inside of Zoom. Go to oatdiscount.com/freebots. You can download those bots there. Pretty straightforward. Now, as a reminder, these, except for the first one, these two are bearish bots, meaning run them in bearish markets. So look at the entry rules and make sure that you set it up so that this bot only enters during bearish markets. Whether you want to do something like Dawn, where it enters when VIX is above 18, that is a great way to differentiate. Or what you can do is you can use something like the bearish bot, which uses a moving average and says, hey, when it's below this moving average, then we're going to enter the bearish bot. So anyways, top bots of March 2026 are bearish bots. That should not surprise us. Right now, the top bots in April are bullish bots because of the upper move we had here the last couple of days. We will see what happens next month. And as always, stay tuned to your email because we do this every single month that you get a chance to get your hands on the top 3 bots every month that you can then just add up to your template library. And over time, you can start paper trading with, find which ones you like, add them to your live account, start making money too, and eventually make your way onto the leaderboard like Don and like all these other people. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Go to oatdiscount.com/3bots to get access to download these bots. And Larry says, any Moomoo headway? Yes, have approval for Moomoo. I actually get started on that myself. Don says also I have two other bots that enter when VIX is 14.18 and less than 14 feet. You guys can see that's what I'm talking about. Don has a scenario for everything. So Don just put in the chat that he has a bot that above the one that we saw on the top leaderboard this month was for VIX above 18. But he says he also has VIX in the middle ground territory between 14 and 18, and then he has VIX below 14. Again, all these are different market scenarios. When VIX is above 18, we are probably crashing. When VIX is below 14 to 18, we're pretty stable. When VIX is below 14, we're actually probably overextended a little bit. But regardless, when you set up the entry rules, plan for every scenario. So if we're using a moving average, what you're doing is you're like, okay, cool. If what I'm looking at is a 50 period moving average, then I want to have a bot that's triggered when it's running above it, and I want a bot that's triggered when it's running below it. So I have two scenarios covered. Don says the same thing. He has VIX above 18 covered, VIX between 14 and 18 covered, VIX below 14 covered. So that no matter what happens, he has a bot tailored for that specific market running so that he can do well. Now, again, some bots perform better than others. Like I mentioned, debit bots will do very well. They just have to run in the right markets. You're not always going to get those 200% returns, but when you do, hey, you have those bots running to do it for you. Anyways, thanks for that update, Don. It's just a great report. I know I'd say have a bot for every scenario, but you did it and it paid off. Good job. Don saying the VIX 14 to 18 bots are Iron Condor makes complete sense. You're playing both directions, yeah. Sweet, sweet. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch out your email. We will be doing this monthly training again at the beginning of May. Talk about the top bots from April. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, but go to oatdiscount.com/3bots to get this party started. And make sure you download those bots and put it in your paper account that you can eventually move it over to your live soon. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Glad you were here. Hope you enjoy your weekend. God bless. See you guys soon.